But over 4.5 months, I think for us, you know, it challenged our faith. It challenged our theology. Every day there was constant battle of, do I believe you, God? Will I still believe you if it doesn't go the way I want it to go?
So we're pregnant. We're growing the family. We're pregnant with our third. And at this time in my pregnancy, I was 23 weeks pregnant. So I still had 17 weeks to go. I was at the halfway point. We had just found out that he was a boy. Had just had the big ultrasound that you have at 20 weeks.
Kelly she just said that she didn't feel good. And so I kind of watched her a little bit. And I told her, I said, well, you know, just call your doctor.
By the time I got to the doctor's office, feeling a little bit worse, and, you know, let them know I kind of wasn't feeling so great, you know, needed to go back. And they said, you know, it'll be just a minute. Everything was really pretty calm and collected. I knew when he checked me that something was wrong. He was white as a sheet and said that I was 100% dilated, 100% effaced, and the bag of water was bulging. So he was being delivered right then. He was on his way out. At the blink of an eye, everything changed. We went from being pregnant and maybe having a few complications and needing to rest to in labor, completely 100% there.
But they wheel him out by me, and I could not believe what I was looking at. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I mean, you know, on one hand, you're looking at your baby, and you realize that this is your baby. On the other hand, you're thinking, man, this looks like something out of a movie. You know, that's just not real. And I think that my reaction was just very, oh my gosh. We started walking, and I was listening to this. I think she was a neonatologist, I believe, and she was beginning to tell me every horrific scenario possible. And she was trying to, just overly emphasize that our life was never going to be the same from this moment forward, and that this was going to be a horrific challenge. And I'm listening to her, but there was still something in me that was just wanting to scream as loud as I could. You know, I don't believe you.
He was intubated, and the machines were working and keeping his heart going and keeping his breathing going. They called for a transport team and took him to a NICU that could handle what he was going through.
My name's Leah. I do neonatal transport, and so our functions are we go into the community and pick up patients that are too unstable to stay at the facilities that they're at the hospital they're at. You know that your time is very limited as far as temperature management and fluid management to keep this baby even with vital signs. And then the other thing you know when you pick the baby up is that the poor parents are going to have this huge, long hospital stay that is just going to be a roller coaster.
Kind of a whirlwind of every day was different. He was leaking fluid out of his skin. You know, your skin was, he was like a burn victim. He couldn't lay on a blanket, he laid on a burn pad. Other levels would get so high that it would poison him, poison his brain. He had a hole in his heart.
So he dealt with that. He dealt with apnea of prematurity, which turned into what they call the numbers went low, which was indicating of a brain bleed.
At this point, Kyle had his skin problem. His whole abdomen was kind of an open wound. The underdeveloped was the problem. His lungs weren't ready for infection. So Kyle developed an infection at this point. It was posturing and just kind of bringing up fluid out of his skin. It's not a good sign. He was like a burn victim. He couldn't less than 1% chance of survival. He had a 0% chance of survival without profound mental and physical disabilities. And I think I just couldn't get it. You know, I mean, he was my son. I couldn't get that this could really happen. I thought, surely we'll be home in a few weeks in a hospital. I mean, I couldn't even fathom months. He is adorable. He can walk. He can talk. I hope that people, from hearing Kyle's story at any time, anywhere, would get hope. Not every little boy turns out like Kyle, but God, I mean, He does have a plan. If we can find a way to hope through all of that and who God is, then every bit of this would be worth it.
There's no scientific reason why Kyle should be speaking or walking or whispering, you know, saying words. But this is what God does. This is, you know, these are things that only God can do.
Can you say bye-bye?